Hola amigos. We're here at our Little Texas Wonderland project, and last y'all were here, y'all saw this house getting demolished by a bunch of big machines. It was a lot of fun, a lot of excitement, a lot of energy, and now the house is down. And where are we at now, Lily?
So we are just about ready to pour the foundation. We've just got a couple more steps prior to being able to pour, so we wanted to give you guys a visual of the layout. So you're walking in here. This is going to be a two-story home. This is urban infill, and you walk in here and you've got an entryway, and it's going to be an open living room situation. And since we actually last met and we're here, the clients decided to upgrade their spa to a small pool. So we had some additional work and kind of had to make some changes with the forms and the piers and did that on the fly. It was a really nice addition. I think they realized that, okay, they could do it. We're doing a tiny pool back here. It'll be 14 by 10, but it'll give them a nice place to cool off in the summers with their daughter. And, you know, ultimately just a really nice addition to their project that we're able to do in parallel. We're going to do it while we're in framing stage, since it was a change kind of at the last minute.
A huge compliment to that big deck energy, huh? No, seriously, like we've got all these big decks, like really awesome ones, and it really just was calling for a pool back here, so we're just making sure we're punching that pool in.
All right, so we are standing right now in what will probably be like around the dining room table, and we've got a kitchen over here, and we've got some both clients will each have an office here and a guest bedroom. The offices they're both really beautiful, unique spaces, and then we'll go up. But the next step is foundation pour.
That's right. I'm going to give you all a couple of juicy technical details, right? So we've got some variation in tile thicknesses. We got some really cool cork coming in this project on the first level. And
this bathroom over here is just going to be straight concrete that we're going to dye and match the cabinetry. It'll all be a really bright cobalt blue.
Yeah, so let me just kind of show you. So with these sections where we've got the orange, what's gone on is we're dropping everything 3/4 of an inch is ultimately what's going to happen. And that is going to allow for this cork to flush up just perfectly to this tile without us having to do an excessive amount of fill. And the entry is kind of the same thing. The entry, we're dropping 1.5 inches because we got a bigger cementous tile, right?
It's actually a really cool large aggregate terrazzo and a big chunky terrazzo that'll be coming in that entry. And then you've got some beautiful black and white checker tile in the kitchen, and then the rest cork, and over here in the bathroom, just a flat concrete. So all of those different flooring surfaces will be seamlessly transitioned, because ahead of time we're actually preparing the foundation pour to be all the right height so that everything becomes perfectly flush and level.
And it's pretty stinking complicated. So what we do, another trick kind of when doing that, usually you want to just kind of give yourself a little bit of extra with the inches, just to make sure that all your curves are good and everything, and then you can kind of fill back just around that with a little bit of extra float as needed. But that's going to allow you to just dial this floor in and get it just bad stinking ass where there's no transitions whatsoever, and that we actually did all the work ahead of time so we don't have to bring in a bunch of extra material to do this. Over in the shower, we've got the sickest shower going on, guys. It's going to be this, I don't know if like the color safety blue or something, but it's kind of like this really crazy cobalt blue that Kim Lewis and company picked out for this bathroom. So I'm really, really excited about this. We've got these kind of rose colored glasses, shower panel as well of glass that's going to be right here, and then it's all surrounded with kind of like a turquoise or kind of off green perimeter frame. But what you see here that I'm in right now is the shower, right? And so again, this is an example of one of these drops. So this is 3.5 inches, and this is going to allow this shower to be set up with a P-trap and the whole nine and a drain. Picture perfect. So when you walk in from the cork, right, you're going to hit, again, perfectly flush the nice cementous concrete overlay that ultimately we're going to do a concrete paint, because that's the only way we were going to be able to actually accomplish this crazy blue color, which is going to be identical to the blue cabinet that's going to be right here hanging on the wall. And it's just going to seamlessly allow you to just drop down just slightly into the shower right here with almost zero transition, but it's still going to allow the water to adequately drain down into the city sewage. So it's
there's actually one more thing that we had to prep for in this bathroom prior to foundation pour to make sure that we had all the specs and had everything lined up appropriately, and that's because this bathroom called for an actual floating wall mounted commode, toilet.
Oh, you're right. And you know what really helped me out with that? Because I almost made a boo-boo on this, but we have the stinking renderings that are just so beautiful. And for whatever reason, it wasn't on my radar when I was looking at all of our plumbing specs and whatnot, but I was so acquainted with the renderings that I remembered that was a wall-hung toilet. I was able to point that out to the plumbers, and we were able to get that done right the first time. So that was super cool.
So anytime you have a wall-hung toilet, it requires a special extra plumbing preparation, and that's something that you want to do ahead of time, and always, you know, notate any sort of wall hanging fixtures, wall mounted fixtures. Those are going to be done differently from a plumbing perspective.
Yeah, because you don't have any play. The other ones you can maneuver the flange a little bit within a few inches afterwards. This one has to be dialed in and just precise. So that's where our toilet's gonna be. Lastly, guys, we've done something with our zip R, so we're gonna use zip R sheathing on this house, and it's got the additional foam buildup within it. So we actually wanted to get some of that zip R to live on top of our foundation versus kind of hanging out over the edge. So we actually accommodated for that with the thickness of our perimeter walls. It was a little more complicated again. It was new to the foundation crew, but we were able to explain it, get it communicated, and perfectly executed. So I'm super excited about all of the details associated with this. It may just seem like a big red, you know, blob, but there's really a whole lot of stuff going on here. Lastly, I want to make sure that you see that this is what's tying together that original slab to the new slab. And this is going to be very, very strong. We've got great beams dug down deep into the ground, and we've totally souped up this foundation. And not only did we save the clients money, as we mentioned, but guys, we've saved the earth a lot of additional, you know, waste. And to me, that's a really big deal. I hate coming in and having to get rid of a foundation just to put another foundation right back. So we teamed well with our structural engineers. They're great, they're creative, they're up for a good challenge, and we were able to make this foundation be equally strong to what a new foundation could have been.
And so that was one of the reasons why we did a vapor barrier as well. Prior to adding that 6-inch topper, this vapor barrier, all this red that you see, is here to create that vapor barrier element.
That's right, Lily. So I really think we've knocked it out of the park here. We've done a really good job. Our team's executed, and I'm just so excited to see this thing get poured.
So we've got the electrical grounding, the embeds to put in, and the Thermomesh, and then we are set to pour next week.
That's right. So y'all stay tuned on Design Build Diaries for the next episode, and we'll be coming right back at you.
All right.
Adios, amigos.
Adios, amigos.